problems were mainly it's a long race and very tough circuit. And under the circumstances early in the race, under pressure from Gerhard, a lot of tension was through the body and mind, and some difficulty with the gearbox from mid-race onwards, and the last 20 laps some difficulty with the brakes. And on top of that, a little bit with the computer. Sometimes it was not working, sometimes it was working, so I had no lap time, no fuel consumption reading. And I think the stress was much too much, and I started to have some pain the last 15 laps, and the pain just increased, but fortunately I could slow down because Gerhard slowed down, and was less painful then, but it was a tough race.
In a way, you're going to have to get used to that because you're going to have another two races like that.
Yeah, sure. Japan is going to be tough. It was tough last year, and it can only be the same this year, and Australia too. But I have nothing to lose, and I have 2-3 weeks, which I hope to rest and prepare myself again a bit more for Japan, like I did last year. And we wait and see.
Gerhard, you look pretty exhausted too, if I might say so. What in particular was giving you problems during the race?
In the beginning everything was going quite well, but was no chance to overtake Ayrton. So I was waiting for the pit stop to see him, maybe I have a better pit stop. But also he had a very good one, and he was again in front of me. My engine started to smoke. I had some problems on my fleck. I had very big pain in braking. So I decided after the pit stop soon to control the second place and try to finish in second place.
Nigel thought a Ferrari could win this race. Did you feel at one time or at any time you could?
You know, as a sportsman, you feel every race you can win, and that's right, like this. But I tried my best, and I tried pushing very, very hard in the first laps, but I still was no way to overtake Ayrton. So I think we finished second, and so for me it was the maximum to finish second.
Alain, for you, third place, is that what you wanted out of this race?
Yes, I said before the race that if I can win, for sure I try to win, but if not, I don't take any risk and I try to finish third. That's what I did. I had a very big problem with the gearbox. The chassis was very good. This morning I was very happy with the car, with the handling, and unfortunately I missed a lot of gears in the first few laps, and there was 1 or 2 tenths. Each time I was missing a gear, and then I just decided to finish third, and that was very boring race for me.
Japan and Australia are a different situation to here, do you think?
For me it's a bit different because of my advantage on the points situation. Try to be very conservative in the last few races, and now I need to be ahead Ayrton, and I think it would be different if I have the same car. If I have no problems, then I try to beat him next races.
And but you will really be racing perhaps harder than today.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I could race much harder today, but there's no point to overtake any car on this track. I mean, the guy leading, if you don't miss a gear, if you don't have any problem, you can't overtake. No way. So I knew that. I know this track very well. So there's no point to race harder because I could lose my third place. And now because I have all the results, all the points, then I can push harder in the next 2 races. Then because even if I don't finish, it doesn't make any difference.